Good morning. It's Sunday it's just morning, isn't it? We're nearly into the afternoon here. Sunday the 7th of October 2018. Welcome along to this morning's United Kingdom talk, coming to you from our purpose-built television complex here in Royal Berkshire. The sun has been out. It's a bit cold, but nice and bright and happy this morning. Just like me at all times of the day and night. When you've ever known me to be miserable. Here's a quick look at what I might look like when I'm miserable. Isn't it amazing how many people you see in a pub or out who look like that? Oh, all the leftists will now be saying, oh, but you don't know what's going on in their lives. Oh, please, do us a favour. Who's with us early this morning? First message of the day goes to Joanna on YouTube. Good morning, Joanna. Welcome along to our little show. Everything is connected. I'm quite pleased about everything's working this morning. Gustav is the first one on the Facebook Live this morning. Good morning, Gustav. Hope you're well today. Adam the plumber's there. Morning, Adam. Thank you for your receipt, dear. Your receipt. Little dukey boy Chris is there. Hello, Chrissy baby. Sharon, I was talking to you. Went out with Jamie, didn't you? Were you together as boyfriends or just friends? Because I'm not quite sure. Which was it? Were you boyfriends or just friends? Do let me know. Good morning, Chrissy baby. Hello to the lovely Sharon Stone. Good morning, dear Sharon Stones. Alan Russell's there. Diane Jeb. There is no key ring. There are no prizes here on United Kingdom Talk. We can't afford to give out prizes. Not that and pay the council tax at the same time, dear. You know, there's a lot to be paid for here. All my mates just going out all the time at the moment. Good morning to Markos. Happy birthday to me. Yes, I saw you come up. I always have a little check of whose birthdays it is first. And I did see your name come up. Do not worry. I bet you won't be there at the end of the show, will you? Most people have gone by the time I finish talking, dear. Actually, we do lose most viewers and listeners within the first 30 seconds. They've had enough already. So if you survive till the end, and I never know how long a show's going to be. It could be 20 minutes. It could be 3 hours. We never know. But I guarantee always to read the little birthdays that come up in my list at the end of the show. Sometimes, funnily enough, people will say to me, like 2 days before, oh, by the way, it's my birthday Saturday. And they get really upset when you forget. Like, you know, I have a brain that can retain all items of news and information coming into it at all times. Not possible, dear. I'm sorry. You know, so if you're not on the Facebook list and you want your birthday, or indeed anyone else's, maybe you've got children. You know, you might have little children there. Might want the very famous Chris Reardon, international celebrity, award-winning DJ, landlord, global broadcaster, environmental conservationist, pilot, and your fairy godmother. Maybe you'd like me to read your children's birthdays out, and I'm happy to do that. But you need to let me know, preferably when I'm on. Preferably like now. Not a couple of days before, like now. That's the best time to do it, all right? So good morning, Markos, and a very big happy birthday to you, sir. Diane Jeb is there. Jack Carroll. Good morning to Jack. Hello, Jackie, baby. All right. Hayley's there. Good morning, lovely Hayley. Hayley had a terrible thing the other night. Now, what's it? She got a hornet. There's a hornet. Is it actually in your house? I mean, you don't muck around with hornets, to be honest. They are nasty. And she was saying it was like a helicopter. And Hayley, you haven't got to tell me that. I've seen one in here as well. I never forget. It was last year. It wasn't this year. It was last year. And I was in the kitchen doing my cook. I do like to do a bit of cooking. I was doing what was I making? Can't remember. It might have been vegetable rice thing. I think it was some vegetable rice thing. And I was doing that. And I go, I thought, oh, there's a wasp in here. And there. And I had my back door and my front door open, and they're like in line, if you see what I mean. So there's the back door, there's the kitchen, there's a little utility room, and there's a front door. Do you know what I mean? They're in line with each other. And I looked around, and this is a bloody great hornet. And it was massive. It was like this thing, frightening. And they don't rush, do they? And you're absolutely right. They are like helicopters, not only by the way they sound, but the way they move slowly. It's like they're looking around, sussing everything out that's going on around them like that. And it went from one end to the, and fortunately flew back out the other side. But not nice creatures. I've been looking up, and if you want to be extra frightened, Hayley, here's something for you to show your kids at Halloween. Get them some show them some hornet videos on YouTube. That'll keep them up all night with their bad dreams. Oh, bless them. Hornet videos. Horrible, horrible things. My mate, he had one in his bedroom the other week. Yep, they were laying in bed, apparently, and he could hear a buzzing noise. And he said, I can't remember what he said now to his other half. What did he say? I can't remember. Anyway, they could hear a buzzing noise, couldn't work out what it was, and discovered, and they had to get up and looked, behind the bed was a hornet. Behind the bed was a massive hornet. You can't muck around with them. I'm sorry, squash them. Don't try. And I just carefully put this hornet outside. Mustn't hurt it. Oh yeah, we get all the lefties again now. Oh, you're really cruel to insects and animals. Oh, shut up. Shut up. You must squash that hornet, get that out of the house, because they will not hesitate to sting you. Evil. If you think wasps were evil, hornets are 10 times more evil than a wasp. I had a wasp nearly flew in my mouth the other week. Do you remember that? I was cycling on my bike. Fortunately, it got caught between my bottom lip and my teeth. And it got caught here. Well, I'd say it got caught. It stopped it going in any further. God knows what would have happened if it had gone the back of my mouth. It would have stung and it would have all been inflamed. But it just stung the bottom of my lip. It got caught there, literally. And, we're talking like a fraction of a second, but you do that and spit the thing out again. Frightening, those things. So, did you get rid of the hornet? What happened, Hayley? Do let us know. Good morning to Mamidi. Welcome along, watching on one of the the Facebook Live English channels. Welcome along. Hello to the delightful Shania, who's in church at the moment. Oh, am I being played through the speakers? Would you like me to sing a hymn? I've got news of our church today, Shania. You're not going to be able... What time does Mass finish? I could do a hymn. Put me on the speakers quickly. Shine, Jesus, shine. Light in the dark, light in the darkness. Light... Oh, is that... No, that's the wrong one. Here. Shine, Jesus, shine. Da 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 da. My great niece, the oldest one, Evie, absolutely loves that one. She asks me to play it on the mobile phone. She wants it. I have it on YouTube, an excellent version. Which would you like me to send you a link later, Shania? It was done at like the BBC Royal Albert Hall thing. I think they do it once a year. The Big Sing or something like that. With the boy from Wales, Alan Jones. Oh, walking in the air. Although he doesn't do it like that. It's now, I'm walking in the air. Didn't he get, what was he, he'd done something naughty, hasn't he? Was it something to do with tax? I can't remember. He's done something naughty. They've all done something, dear. You know, I've done stuff, but I don't hide it. I just tell you. Don't bother me what I've done in my life. Eh? So that's nice. Jack. Yes. Thank you very much, Jack. Looking good. Do you like the jacket today? I don't bring out this one very often because it's quite thick. And it can be a little bit warm, you know. Adam, can you say hi to Mum Pat? Good morning, Adam's mum. Pat is in the house doing a Sunday roast. Oh, no. Don't tell me there's a dead animal in your oven. Oh, how awful. Can't you just have the lovely roast potatoes and a little bit of olive oil and perhaps some rosemary and even garlic on the top? Oh, roast potatoes. My sister puts garlic on them. Oh, it's absolutely... You don't need to have a dead animal in the oven as well. No, dear. Poor little creature. It was running around a few weeks ago. Or if you go to a cheap supermarket a few years ago, probably been frozen somewhere for 10 years. Morning, Pat. Welcome to the show. Jack says it's not his birthday, but I'm happy. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. That was a Scout song, wasn't it? Was that a Scout song? I think it was. I looked up our scout group, the scout group I was in the 1970s and 80s, on the internet the other day. It's gone, disbanded. In Roehampton, I couldn't believe it. There used to be 1st Roehampton Scouts, which is what I was in, 2nd Roehampton and 3rd Roehampton. All gone. There are no Scouts in Roehampton. Isn't that awful? So sad, that is. I actually wrote to the district commissioner of the Wandsworth, Putney and Roehampton district because I couldn't find them on the internet. He said, no, they were disbanded a few years ago. There was no one to do it, I suppose. I don't know, perhaps they run out of people, because girls are in the Scouts now as well. We only had boys in the Scouts, but it's girls as well now. I don't know if they just run out of people to run the thing or what. You see, I years ago, I used to be a cub leader. I wouldn't want to do it now. You're just tied up in red tape. And you can just imagine the parents on the phone if you get a cut leg. You weren't looking after my boy or girl. You know, they shouldn't come home with cut legs and bruises. Oh, go. No, why would you ever want to do that again? Too much red tape. You have killed it. The people who are overprotecting their little ones have absolutely killed it. Why would anyone want to be a teacher? Even worse, being a teacher. You know, you can't even whack them around the face anymore. I got the cane twice at school. Oh, yes. What for? Talking. That's just talking. Bend over, boy. Oh, it hurts on your bum, that cane. But you don't do it again. You don't do it again. Morning to Sean Sheep Brown. Hi there. What's this show? I sit here and I talk unintelligent nonsense for an hour with great enthusiasm. Welcome to the show, Sean. Hayley, apparently, no, look at that. The hornet's not in the house. It's outside flying around, but it's been hanging around for a few days now. They're so big. Hayley, my guess is it's trying to suss a way in. And I'm not joking. It's trying to suss a way in. And I'll tell you why. Hornets, I think they're related to wasps, aren't they? Let me tell you this. You probably don't know this. Jimmy, nephew Jimmy, he came around my caravan in about 6 weeks ago, a couple of months ago, right? And we had jam scones, right? So we're outside on my veranda, looking out onto the field. Are you back? You must come round and have a look, actually. Come, bring your children round and have a look at the caravan, all right? So we were outside on a veranda, and my sister, his mum, done jam scones. So we've had ours with no problem, really. He came along, and we gave him a jam scone, and immediately this wasp came over. Yeah, and he's trying to eat that, and the wasp is like, keeps coming, and they don't piss off, do they, wasps? Don't you hate them? They don't get do you know what I mean? Not like people. Generally, people, once you go away, they get it. Some of them keep coming back all the time. You're like a bad smell. But most of them get the idea. Wasps don't. They don't go away. No, they keep coming. They keep coming. Anyway, this wasp wouldn't go away. I said, oh, take it in there, Jimmy. You're going to attract more. Because you won't end up with one. There'll be several of them. They bring the family. You know, Daddy Wasp is first, I think. Then Mummy Wasp comes, and the little baby Wasp's all trying to get his jam scone. So I said to him, take it in the caravan. Now, I've got 2 front doors on the caravan, 2 kind of on the side, right? So on those doors, I have like these net things. One of them is really good. It's the one that was there when I bought the caravan a few months ago. The other one I put in, and it's not very good. I've already changed it once, and still, it's not that good. A little bit of wind, and it opens up. I mean, it's just useless. But the one that was already there, and we're looking to try and find that same one to put on the other door, can't find it anywhere. So it's like this mesh thing, and it's like in 4 pieces, and they overlap, and it hangs down like that. So what Jimmy's done is picked up his scone on the plate, and he's gone to go through the net. He's then pulled the net open and gone in. Well, the wasp has followed him in. The wasp, I said, Jimmy, you just let the wasp into the caravan. He said, oh, right. Now, this is how thick the wasp is, okay? So he's got the plate, right, pulled back the mesh thing, put the plate outside, and the wasp has followed the plate out and then quickly brought it back in again. Thus, the mesh is now in between is now hanging down and is in between my nephew, who's now in the caravan, and the Wasp, which is outside. Now, you would think that would be over, wouldn't you, Hayley? No. The Wasp, I observed, is now going up and down and across the mesh looking for a way in. They're not stupid, dear. And Jimmy said, it's trying to find a way in here. And it almost succeeded. It found a little gap and it's trying to get in there. And he's bashed the mesh and then it flew off. So my guess is you need to do something about that hornet. It's looking for a way in. And if you're looking for a way in, was that a song by Odyssey? I can't remember. So there we are, Hayley. Do watch out. Good morning to Grant. Hello, Grant Boatman. Someone I worked with for years, and we've become very, very good friends. And we had wonderful, wonderful times at a little club that we used to call Chariots. Which was great fun. We went there for years and years. We used to get there like at 3 o'clock in the morning and we'd be there till 8 o'clock at night. What wonderful times that we had there, Grant. And so many friends we made. So many. Got Chris. Are you looking forward to Doctor Who tonight? Absolutely, yes. The brand new Doctor Who tonight. Of course, they made a big thing. Oh, it's a woman. Oh, wonderful one. No, it's Doctor Who. It doesn't matter who plays these parts. I don't know why people have to make such a big thing of whether it's a man, a woman, a straight bloke, a gay bloke, a lesbian, a straight girl, a black person, a white person, a yellow person, a grey person, a green person. Why does that matter? It's Doctor Who. Doesn't matter who it is. So, we got the new Doctor Who tonight. I'm very much looking forward. The fact that it's a woman doesn't bother me in the slightest. I'm just interested in the stories. I want to be told, as I'm going to tell you a story, as Max Bygraves used to say. And I hope the stories are good. I gather that we're having none of the old monsters at all, certainly in this first series. It's all brand new stories and monsters. There's no Daleks. There's no Cybermen. Delete. Great nephew George likes to play Cybermen. He is a Cyberman. He marches around the living room. Oh, it's hilarious. And his sister, George, is 6. Emily is 4 years old, and he's also got a little brother now who's just gone over 1 year old. Baby James, who leaks everywhere. Baby James leaks. He's at that age where liquid just keeps coming out of all his holes. I mean, all of them, all over the place. Terrible. I told my niece, if you want to bring him around that caravan again, you put him in a plastic bag and sit him in a corner till you go home, dear. I'm not having my caravan messed up, dear. Outrageous. Anyway, so he plays the Cyberman, marches around, and my great niece, Emily, she plays the victim, and she runs in for all the time. A little bit like a shoplifter running away from the people in Waitrose, I tell you. So there we are. Very much looking forward to Doctor Who, yes. Hello to Leah. Hello, Leah. Forget Hornets. This is what we deal with in Australia. What you got in Australia, Leah? Oh, the lovely Leah. I worked with her in Hammersmith Belushes. It must be about 5 years ago now, Leah. How the time goes, doesn't it? I remember everyone that I ever worked with. Or most people. The nice ones, anyway. The nasty ones, I forget. And you were one of the nice ones. Good morning, Maureen. She's watching on the YouTube this morning. Good morning, Maureen. All right, darling. Hope you're well. I had something to tell you, Maureen. I can't think what it was now. What was I going to tell Maureen? No, can't remember. I'm sorry, Maureen. I can't remember what... Oh, yes. Do you know, I cannot listen to that song now, One Way Ticket, without thinking of you. She sings it again. That's my favourite song that you sing. One way ticket, one way ticket, one way ticket to the moon. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Yes. Thank you. Good morning to Uke English. Morning. Hayley says she shut the front door when the Wasp is when the Hornet's around. Then it played on my mind, so she shut all the windows upstairs. I would do as well. Absolutely. Shut all the windows and the doors. You've got to get that Hornet, though, my darling. You won't be able to rest until you've got that Hornet. Can't you send the husband out and deal with it, dear? God, or what about Bison? Borrow my sister's dog. He will eat it. He would probably... Bison the dog. Morning to the delightful Kelly Wild. Good morning this morning. All right, Kelly Wild is my agent. She's my agent. She's the person who first booked me into Central Station. She costs me vast amounts of money each week. And she's going to be on television. I can't remember the name of the show. It's the BBC One talent show where there's where there's 100 people sitting in little boxes and they make comment on the acts. I can't remember. Is it 100 to 1 or something like that? I can't remember what it's called now. There we are. Leah loves the jacket as well. Thank you, Leah. Appreciate that, darling. Good morning to Mike Cordlin. Morning, Mike. Okay. Yep. You won't have any worries at my caravan with hornets. I've eaten them all. I've got rid of them all. One tip I picked up on, if you've got a wasp's nest or something like that near, right, is to use a sticky board. Now, you can get these on Amazon. It's like a piece of cardboard. You open it up and there's glue on it. Okay, you won't stick to the glue, but if you touch it, it's a bit of a thing to get it off again. But you will. And put the sticky board very near the nest, and you watch them all and they stick to it. They can't do it. And once they stick to that, that's it, mate. Bye bye wasps. Bye bye hornets. That's what you want. A sticky board. Stick that outside there. But. It's very indiscriminate, a sticky board. You know, you don't want a bird landing on it. So you want, perhaps if you put it on the wall, like, you know, stick it on the wall like that, not like that. Because if a bird lands on it, it won't escape, unfortunately. All right. Morning to Liam. Morning, Liam Manning. Welcome to our little show, sir. Gary Butler's there this morning. Giant cockroaches. That's what they got in Australia. Oh, I remember being in Australia up north, Cairns. I was with my cousin and his new wife. They just got married. Oddly enough, they asked me to go on the honeymoon with them. I don't know why. Not in the same hotel I had. I was staying at a gay resort. Now, what's it called? Turtle Cove. Oh, what a beautiful place. It's got its own beach. Oh, just stunning. And it had its own resident python in there, what lived in the tree. I kid you not. We used to see this thing hanging there. Anything to be worried about? No, not unless it comes down. Anyway, so they were staying at another hotel and we were walking from their hotel to get somewhere to eat. And there was a beetle on the floor. And my cousin's wife, she we need to help the beetle because it was upside down. It was going like that. This little beetle was going like that. It was upside down. So very, very carefully, with the tip of her toe, her shoe, she turned it over. Well, the thing just got on its back legs and started hissing at us. How rude is that? We just helped the bloody thing. So there's a thing there. Don't help beetles, or indeed giant cockroaches. Thank you very much. Oh no. Look at this. Giant cockroaches. They fly in Australia. They're pure evil. They can grow to the size of the palm of your hand. Well, you can keep those there, my dear. Oh, my God. Giant cockroach. I don't like cockroaches. Oh, there's none in this house. Oh, there's this house. It's spotless, this house. Do you know, funnily enough, since I got the caravan, the house is cleaner. For some reason, because I don't like to come back to a dirty place. It's like when I leave the caravan and go to work on a Friday night, okay, everything has to be cleaned and done. Like the bathroom, it's ever so easy to keep a caravan. They're so small, you see. So I clean the bathroom, I clean the kitchen, all the washing up is done. There isn't a single teaspoon that's left in the sink waiting for me to arrive back. It's all cleaned. And I'm doing the same here. I rarely used to do cleaning. To be honest, my mate used to come around and do it occasionally for me. But yeah, I've become cleaner, strangely enough. Abdirazak, good morning to you, sir. There's a nice photo. I did do a little like on one of your photos the other day. Really nice photo. Yeah. Okay. Over on, just a moment. Let's just go on the other platforms before we carry on with the show, boys and girls. Hello to Weird City Citizen. Good morning to you. Let's say hello to Guccio on Vaughan Live. We've got William over on Periscope. Good morning, William. Are you a new father, Ted? No. Weird City Citizen said, wasps are bothersome, bad-tempered creatures. Yes, they are. But there was a bloke on the telly the other day that say, don't wish for them all to be gone, because actually they do pollinate things just like the bees do. It's the hornets that are horrible. Hornets can destroy entire bee colonies very, very quickly. They're not nice creatures. Alrighty. Thanks for your messages. I'll carry on to those in a moment. Just a reminder, gang, if you can't use a computer to type a message and you're not on like a phone where you can type a message, you can always text a message in. Our mobile phone, it's not a phone-in number. If you ring it, nothing will happen, okay? It'll just go to an answer phone. So it's just for texting in. 07551 259 675 is the texting number from a mobile phone, okay? 07551 259 675. Good. So yesterday, I finished the show yesterday. I went down to the bank on my bike. Had a few little bits to do yesterday. And it was just... It had just stopped spitting. I don't think we'd had any rain forecast for yesterday, but it was just spitting. It was very, very grey and cold yesterday. So I got on my bike, got down to the bank, went to the bank, and then I thought I'd get my hair cut. There's a brand new hairdressers in Bracknell town centre. Usually I go to either Wokingham to Max Hairdressers, who always does a brilliant job. Or I've started going up north now. If I've got time up north, I go to a place, I think it's in Horncastle, I can't remember where it is. My nephews go there. His name is H, and I think he's from Cyprus. He's a lovely bloke. He's got, it's like a little stand along, it's almost like a little shack, what he's got, and he's set up there on the main road, and you just go in. There's only about 3 chairs in there, so... and that's fine as well. Anyway, we've got this new place in Bracknell called House of Handsome. And I've walked past it a couple of times, and very nice. It's all quite how would you say? It's all it's all proper. It's proper. And I looked in the window, and all the it's all men doing the hairdressing, or it was when I walked past anyway. And they've all got like uniforms on. I thought, oh, that's quite nice. Anyway, I was going to go there yesterday, so I've got there, and as I've gone past, I saw the price list in the window. I thought, oh, I'll just have a quick look at the price list, see what else they do. Wow, gentleman's haircut, £17. Have you for real? What for a haircut? £17? Do you know my niece? She's got a haircutters. So she's got it's more of a ladies' haircut. She does all hairs in there, mainly ladies, but the boys go in there, like schoolboys, older men, and no, it's not a ladies' hairdressers. It's a general hairdresser she's got. And boys, men go in there as well. But so most of the time, I think it's ladies that go in there, or at least it has when I've seen it myself. That's in Woodall Spa. She charges £8. £8. Mac, where I usually get my hair cut there, he charges me £10 if it's Monday, Tuesday or Wednesday. The other hairdresser, so I was just going to go to, I thought £17? Anyway, I looked in. This would have been round about 11:30 in the morning, something like that. I looked in. They had one customer in there, in the chair, having his hair cut, all done properly, nothing wrong with the haircut. Nothing wrong with, I saw the atmosphere in there. It's absolutely spotless in there. And there were 2 hairdressers, barbers. It looks more like a men's one, yeah? Two men standing around doing nothing, just chatting. And another one washing the bloody windows. What, on a Saturday morning at 11 o'clock? Nah, you're charging too much. Went round the corner to the other one. I thought, oh, I'll go round the corner. Well, he was chock-a-block in there. You couldn't move. I thought, well, if I go there, it's going to be like a 45-minute wait or something like that. So I didn't bother, as you can see. So I didn't bother. So I think I might try and go tomorrow morning to my usual place in Wokingham after I finish the show tomorrow morning and have it done there. I'm not paying £17 to have my hair cut. Jesus. How much? Shocking. Oh, thank you, Hayley. Apparently the bloke is from Turkey. Oh, well, that's near Cyprus, isn't it? Cyprus, Turkey. The bloke's from Cyprus, and the shop is in Coningsby. Yeah, H. He's all right. He's a nice bloke, isn't he? He sits there. He don't talk much, which is... I prefer that, though. You know, I prefer that. This is the trouble with, Hayley, with you women hairdressers. You know, you sit down and chat and chat. Oh, it's like listening to an episode of Bloody Loose Women, dear. Cackling away about your boyfriends and your holidays. Just shut up and cut the hair. What is the problem? But most of the blokes, you know, they just start, hello, sir, sit down. They might open a conversation and then they shut up and they just get on with it. Much better. Except the gay ones. They chat and all. On and on and on, dear. God, give it a bloody rest. I'll have to take in little earpieces or something like that. Oh, no, I wouldn't be able to use the earpieces because I like the flame against the ear, you know. You know, when they light that stick and they burn the little hairs out of your ears. I like the sound. It goes like that. Like when you hear a fly on one of those machines. That's what you need, Hayley. Get one of those electric... do you want to borrow my electric bat? I've got an electric bat. And you push a button and you touch a wasp and it electrocutes the little thing. Evil wasps. Yes. So I didn't go to House of Handsome. Just a second now. Where are we now? Weird City Citizen says, I now need to find out how beetles hiss. I don't know, but they do, believe me. They do. Well, she helped this beetle and it stood up on its hind legs and hissed at us. Oh, a very brave beetle. All we should have done is one step forward and that would have been the end of that. But we left it and off it. It just stood there in the middle of the path and hissed at us. Didn't bother to try run or anything. Very strange and mysterious, that's what it is. So I didn't get my hair cut in House of Handsome. There's nothing wrong with it in there. It's, as I say, it's clean. They look extremely efficient. They are very, very smart. But £17? No. £10 for a haircut, for a men's haircut. Absolute maximum. Bzz, bzz, bzz. I've got thing before. So I often wonder, should I try it myself? People say, why don't you just do it? Oh, I've got the beard trimmer, you see. That works out all right, doesn't it? And every couple of days, it needs to be done today. It's getting a little bit long now. The only thing is this bit here. See this? What do you do? When you go to the hairdressers, he gets that knife thing out, doesn't he? I mean, you really trust the hairdresser, don't you? When you think about it, you know, what if it might be someone who you don't like, someone from the past who you haven't remembered, who you've upset? Okay, there's so... That's it, you're gone, mate. Gone. You really trust hairdressers, don't you? So he gets the thing out, he does all that. So that doesn't quite work with that bzz, bzz thing that I've... Oh, I suppose it would do. Although I suppose I could wet shave that bit down there, couldn't I? And do it like that. Might be able to... Oh, my God. James Clark went to a hairdresser's in Wimbledon. 19 quid? Blimey. 19 quid for a haircut? You're off your head, you are. There must be somewhere cheaper than that, James. Find a better one than that, mate. Hello to Angela Walters. She's in Melbourne, Australia. Good morning, Angela. Says, don't like you with bum fluff. Makes you look old. It's not bum fluff. Bum fluff is what little boys get. When it starts growing. Oh, shall I shave yet? And they've got like one hair sticking out. No, not yet. Makes you look old. Well, I am, dear. 56 next year. I am old. Although I don't put that on the dating apps, I must admit. Leah reckons it's a rhino beetle, that thing that stood up on its legs. Big black. I think it was black. It was either black or brown. Even when it was standing up on its hind legs and hissing us, could it have hurt us? Oh, they can fly, can't they, beetles? Anyway, that's enough about beetles. So I didn't get my hair cut in the end. I come back out of there. And there has been, for about a year or so, a big coffee republic on the corner. Now, this is odd. We've got a sort of mostly new shopping centre now, except for one part, and they've kind of added on to that. It's a year old now. We've got wonderful shops in Bracknell, we really have. But as you come out of the main door of Prince's Square into the newer bit, which is like all open, right, as you come out, there's a shop on the corner, a big shop. Now, this shop has been a clothes shop. It's been a Marks and Spencer's. It was a clothes shop again. And now it's a Coffee Republic. Except it's not. It's closed. And it's an odd thing. It doesn't matter what shop goes on that corner. They don't seem to last more than a couple of years. Isn't that strange? Very, very odd. So we've had a Coffee Republic. I have been in there once, actually, for a cup of tea and a slice of cake with my mate. But it's gone. It's closed. I thought, oh, that's odd. That's closed as well. Every shop that sets up on that corner doesn't last more than a couple of years. The clothes shop before Coffee Republic, I don't think that was there a year. The Marks and Spencers was there about 2 years, and it was nice, a nice Marks and Spencers. No one seems to be able to make money on that corner shop, and yet the footfall going around it all the time, well, it's everyone that goes into the shopping centre has to go past that shop. It's opposite the Catholic Church, for God's sake. You know, even I'm sure the priest goes in there sometimes. Father Danny, for a cup of coffee. Well, he can't do that anymore. Closed. Isn't that strange? Nothing seems to work there. Don't know why that. Angela says you should open up a brothel on the corner. I bet that would work. Yeah, not with me working in there. I'll have to get some youngsters to work there. Angela, do you want to come and work for me? You could work in my brothel. I'll just answer the phone. That's what I could do. Even the priest can go. We don't make judgment on people. Whoever comes through the door, it's our secret. It's at what happens in Bracknell stays in Bracknell, doesn't it? Eh? Oh dear. So I came out of there. Let's have a look. And now I've come out and it's pouring down. It's absolutely chucking it down with rain. I thought, oh God. And I've come on my bicycle, of course, as well. So I went into Primark first to look for one of those plastic Mac things. I thought, well, they must have one in there for like £5 or something like that. But they didn't have any in there, funnily enough. They got some lightweight coats in Primark, but not any of the plastic Mac type things. So then I went into Millets and I bought myself a poncho. I meant to bring it up today. I'll show you tomorrow morning. I should be with you tomorrow morning around about 9 o'clock for an early show on a Monday. Okay, so about 9 o'clock tomorrow morning I'll be with you. Join us then, live, or watch the recording afterwards. I shall bring up tomorrow my brand new, and I shall wear it for you, my new yellow poncho that I'm very pleased with. £3.50. Reduced from £5. Absolute bargain, my new yellow poncho. So I bought that. Got back to my bike and I struggled putting this damn thing on. I thought, well, you put it on like that and it's just all flapping all over the place. I thought, well, this can't be right. And then I discovered on the two bits there are little popper things, pop, 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 little button type things. So I put that together and that kind of worked to a point, and I cycled home on that, although I got wet knees. No, I didn't. I went to Morrison's. I always go to Morrison's for my Quorn steaks. Because there they are the cheapest place other than Asda for Quorn steak. It's £2.50 there. So I picked up. And then a special offer. 3 for £6, which makes them £2 each. Very pleased with that. So I bought I think about 12 of those. Bought 12 of those and Quorn burgers as well, which were also on the special offer. 3 for £6. And what else did I get in there? And some potatoes. Got back to my bike, still pouring down with rain, so I put them in my back bag and cycled home. The only thing is with a poncho, doesn't cover your legs. So I had grey tracksuit bottoms on and they just got soaking wet. But the rest of me was quite dry. I had a little yellow hood up. Oh yeah, I look like Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz, actually. Oh no, one of the witches. It was the witch on the bike, wasn't it, with the poncho thing on she had? Angela, yellow poncho. So what are you, Clint Eastwood? Are you the good, the bad, or the ugly? The ugly, I'm afraid. And the very, very bad. Absolutely. Hello to Nig Yuan. You were talking too fast. That's the speed at which I talk, I'm afraid. Angela reckons no one could afford her. I don't know about that, Angela. I beg to differ. Got home. Went up the swimming pool. Very quiet. No, I didn't go up the swimming pool. Got home. What did I do when I got home? I had my lunch. My sister rung up. I had a chat with my sister and her husband were down at my caravan. They do all the maintenance because I'm not very good at DIY. So my brother-in-law yesterday, he put up a new light in the bedroom. Can you believe that? It's a wall light. Okay, because there is whoever had the caravan before took down the light and didn't put another light up. Well, the fitting's bloody live, isn't it? which he found out when he attached them. He said, it's a live fitting. So, the switch has to be on the actual light. I mean, I didn't know that. If I'd have put it up myself, I would have just attached the two wires, assuming that the fitting, the wires were connected to the switch. No, it's permanently live. I could have died. No one cares. You don't care, do you? No one cares. Nobody cares. So he put this light up, and when they rang, they were at B&Q, actually. They'd been to the caravan, they were at B&Q. Why? One of the reasons was that they had to buy some bulbs for the light fitting. I mean, for God's sake, you would think a light fitting would come with bulbs, wouldn't you? Unbelievable. From Amazon, that was. Puts the light fitting up, turns it on, it doesn't work. Guess what? Got to go and buy the bulbs separately. Brilliant. So they were down B&Q. Also, he was fixing underneath my sink. And I mentioned this on Friday's show. I think it was Friday's show, or was it Friday's show? I think I mentioned this on Friday's show. Where the sink, you've got a sink, and underneath that there's like a thing, and it comes down like that, and you can undo that. So if you get a blockage, you undo this thing, and usually it's got, I think it's called a trap. A trap. It gets caught there, and then you just chuck it away and screw it back up again. Well, I was doing some cooking the other day, and water went down it, and I heard a pop. Turns out the thing had come off. The screw thing, it just came off, literally. Right? And when I went to screw it back on again, it would go screw, 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 and then click and come back off again. So somehow that's gone wrong. So he was replacing that as well yesterday. And what else was he doing? Putting a new electrical socket in for me. See, I can't do any of these things. I can't do any of these things. And we've got to move the air conditioning unit as well. He kindly put a hole in the back of the caravan for that a couple of months ago, and it was working all right, of course. But unfortunately, the bed in there, as it was like that, there's hardly any room between the end of the bed and the cupboards. So when I want to get up at middle of the night and have a wee, I'm kind of it's a bit of an effort, really. So I've turned the bed round the other way. The thing is, now the bed is jammed up against this electrical socket, which I can't use anymore to plug in the air conditioning. I've pushed the bed along that way to give me great, enormous, much, much bigger space to walk through and open the cupboard doors and I've moved the air conditioning from that side to that side. So now we need to put another hole in. I went to places like a sieve. There's so many holes in the side of that caravan now, it's unbelievable. Well, two. Two. So he's been doing that. That's what he was doing yesterday. Let's have a look at it. Looking like Mr. Burns to look like a sideshow Bob. I would have loved to have seen you put the light in. You would have changed from losing Mr. Burns to sideshow Bob hairdo. Oh, I would have been electrocuted. I totally would have been electrocuted if that had happened. Yes, exactly. So I did that. Had some lunch. I watched a programme on the television, Bad Tenants, Rogue Landlords, which is, it's unbelievable. Some of these landlords are... I'm a landlord myself. I like to think of myself as a good landlord. I do. If something's wrong, I want it fixed yesterday. Recent things that have gone wrong. Let's have a think now. Oh, someone's immersion heater was smelling fishy. So I sent someone round to deal with that. What else has gone wrong? That's all recently. Actually, not too bad at all. What tends to happen... if you've got like multiple properties, is that you can go for a period of time, nothing goes wrong, and then suddenly everything starts going wrong. A heater doesn't work there, a window's fallen out there, or something like that, So not doing too badly. I'm a good landlord. Some of the landlords are just an absolute disgrace. They really are. When you hear of people that in the middle of winter, their boiler packs up, and the landlord don't send anyone round for weeks. I mean, why do you want to wait weeks anyway to send someone round? It's not going to cost you any more whether you send them round now or in 6 weeks' time. What's the difference? Get it done. You always want to keep your tenants and keep the tenants happy. The last thing you want is for people to move out, really. And besides, I'd hate to think that someone would be in one of my places and they weren't happy. That would really destroy me, that. I mean that. But some of these, they just don't care. They just take the money. Take all the time. aren't they awful? People that just take all the time, you know, and never give anything back. It's just awful. It's awful. So there's some terrible landlords around. That being said, there's some awful tenants around as well. The state of some of the places when they get them to move out or they stop paying the rent. They stop paying the rent and then they turn them into absolute dives. Then the landlord has to go back in and sort it all out once they've got rid of them. You know, it's actually not that hard to get rid of someone out of a flat. Unfortunately, I've never ever had to do it. I've not had to do it ever. But then again, I like to think that my tenants are happy, you know, and that's how it gets. So I watched a little bit of that. But as I say, there's some shocking scenes you see on that programme. I had a little bit of a sleep. Then I went. Where was it? Was it yesterday? Then I went to work. That was all right last night. Very quiet in the pub last night, I must say, which was completely opposite to Friday night. I did the karaoke on Friday nights. Was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic night Friday night, and lots of new faces there on Friday, which was quite nice. And that's it. Got up early this morning, put the washing on, went to church, jumped on the bike. It was blooming cold this morning. I had a hat and gloves on this morning. Very, very cold. So I got the church. Vivian's not well at the moment. She's pulled a muscle in her chest there somewhere, and when she was overstretching. I'm sure you've done that before, have you? Was it the remote control by any chance? You know, was the remote control on the floor, and instead of getting up and walking over to it, you just leant and leaned over and you pulled something, didn't you? I've done it. Oh, and the pain. Anyway, she's torn a muscle or something there at the moment. Not only that, we had a different priest this morning, and my God, how tall was he? He's like sick, and he told us. He says people like to ask how tall I am. 6'7". I kid you not. He's towering among the altar servers, the girls and the boys on the altars. And he said it's the new definition of what you mean by a high priest. And of course we all laughed. What a lovely man though. He was from America, Michigan in the US of A. And he's over here doing some sort of coursework. Lovely man. I can't remember his name now. And he was young. Oh, and Vivian, whoa, I mean, she was very excited by his looks. He weren't old. I would put him at about 30, 28, 30. He's a young priest, quite good looking. He had glasses, and he's up there, and it's 6'7" tall. He is like that. So that was good this morning. Got back here, and here we are, chatting away. As I say, right at the beginning of the show there, I'm very much looking forward to the brand new Doctor Who tonight. And also, I haven't yet seen the new series of The Apprentice, which started this week. So I think I'll probably watch that first episode when I go have my dinner. As soon as I finish chatting to you, I'll go down and have my dinner. Weird City Citizen says, have you ever had any bad tenants? Not really bad ones. I did have one once, stopped paying the rent, but it's all dealt with by the estate agent. I leave it to the professionals to do all that sort of stuff. So they sent a letter, no reply, sent another letter, no reply. And when they went round there, they'd gone. Oh, in, I think, 2 months of rent, but I'm insured for that. So if someone doesn't pay the rent, it still comes to me anyway. I think you miss, is it immediate or you might miss the first month? I can't remember. But I cannot stress enough, anyone who's thinking of becoming a landlord, perhaps buying one more property and perhaps, you know, for your pension fund or something like that, I cannot stress enough to tell you, go through an estate agent. And have the full managed thing. If you pay the full which is going to cost you about 14% of your income. Okay, so for every £100 rent, you got to give them 14. It's worth it. Any problems, anything like that, they sort it. They sort it. Got to get rid of a tenant, they sort it. Non-payment of rent, you get insured for that as well. Very important to do that as well. Okay, because if someone it gets stuck in there and you can't, it takes them a while to get rid of them. If it takes them a while, 3 months, certainly not where I am. I don't, my rents are nothing like in London. But if you've got a place in London, I don't know what's that costing you, £1,000 a month rent for a house, probably, something like that. 3 months goes by, that's 3,000 quid. And the insurance for that probably would have cost you 30. It's absolutely worth it. I cannot stress that enough. If you ever want to go and buy somewhere to be rented out, then go through a reputable estate agent. Not just some, scallywag who you just come across. Check them out. Let them do the whole thing. Let them find the tenants and everything. And another thing, don't ever put a friend in. Don't put a friend in or a member of the family unless you're willing to accept the fact that at some point they might not pay you. I'm sorry to say that. Don't do it with it's not happened to me because I've never put a friend in. Or a member of family. But if it was a member of family, for me personally, then I'd be, I can't pay the rent. Okay, that's fine. I accept that. You accept that. If you're willing to accept the fact that a member of the family might not be able to pay, then that's fine, no problem. But a friend, the stories that are told on that programme, Bad Landlords, Bad Tenants, or whatever it's called, I can't remember now. This happens all the time. People who have put a friend in. There was a guy on there, was a chap on there I was watching. I think the programme's about 4 weeks old. I'm weeks behind on this. But there was a chap on there. And 3 times, in the same property, 3 times he's put a friend in, and every single one of them have stopped paying the rent. For whatever reason. And he's thousands of pounds out of pocket. Remember, most landlords, most sort of, people who've got 1 or 2 properties perhaps, they've got a mortgage on that place as well. So we don't make an awful lot of money. The rent covers the mortgage. Maybe not quite. Maybe they're topping it up a little bit in the hope you make the money when you sell the house. You don't make the money on the rent unless, of course, you're filthy stinking rich. You go out and buy 10 properties and you rent them out and all that money's yours. No, it doesn't work like that, mate. No. Generally, what's happened is that you've saved a deposit, okay? Or deposits come from somewhere. In my case, when my mother died, I used that money, you see, as deposit. Right? So you use that, you put your deposit down, and then you mortgage the place out with a buy-to-let mortgage, and then you rent it out. And hopefully, your rental will cover the mortgage. You hold on to that for a number of years, 50, but minimum of 10. Absolute minimum of 10 years. And hopefully, in that time, it will build in value. And then if you want, then you can sell it. Then you sell it, and that's where the profit is. Although you will, of course, be taxed on that profit. And don't think you can get around that. You've got to pay that tax on there. They know anyway. You just sold a blooming place, Solicitors and all that tell you. Good morning to Roxy Terrett. Good morning, Roxy. Let's have a look there. What time is it here? I've got a clock on the wall there, look. It's 25 to 1 in the afternoon. It's nearly time for me to go, actually. Yeah, I'm sitting here starving now. How long have I been on an hour? Oh, we haven't done any news stories yet. I wanted to read you this particular story. And you'll be surprised. I love this story. I absolutely love this. I'm just going to read you this one story, and we'll do the birthdays today. Okay, boys and girls? Now, a terrified mum. This is in this morning's Daily Mirror. Shall we have a different camera angle? Let's just go mad. Let's go mad this morning. Have another camera angle as well. A terrified mum took matters into her own hands in this morning's Daily Mirror. I think it was this morning, or was it yesterday? Yeah, it's today's. And stole back her own bike after police closed the case due to lack of evidence. This lady was fuming when she had a £700 bike. I mean, why you'd want to spend £700 on a bike, I don't know. You can get one from Alfred's for about 120 quid, can't you? She realised her £700 bike had been pinched from her local high street. She reported the theft to police and turned detective in a bid to reunite with it. Days later, she saw her stolen bike was being advertised for sale on Gumtree, and she followed police advice to contact the seller, pretending to be a buyer. But despite getting his first name, an address and phone number, police refused to accompany her. to the thief's home, forcing her to go alone. I mean, brave. That's brave. Actually, it reminded me of a lady on that Bad Tenants programme yesterday. One of the landlords, lady on her own, not young, probably about 60-ish. Well, I mean, 60 isn't old, but it's not young. She went on her own to deal with this tenant that weren't paying. She said she was scared to go there. God, she must be mad going there on your own. Round somewhere like that. You don't know how mad some of these people are. She nabbed back the bike by posing as a buyer and then cycled off. And after confirming it was hers, she informed the police, giving them a detailed description of the alleged criminal. But officers said there was insufficient information to proceed with an investigation. She's from South London. She slammed the state of the police in. She said, it's made me realise how bad the state of the police is here. It's unbelievable that victims of crimes are having to investigate, then collect their own stolen items. Gosh. And she says, and then nothing is done still. It makes me so angry. No wonder criminals think they can get away with it because again. So, of course, she's turned up at this place. I don't think this is the whole story. I looked for this story because I heard the bloke on LBC, Nick Abbott, read it out last night. And I remember what she said was that she met up with the bloke, asked him if she could take it for a test ride, and gave her, she said, yeah, if I give you the handbag with my money in it, hold on to that and I'll go for a test drive. She's then handed him an empty handbag and cycled off. A little bit later, he texted her saying, where's my bike? And she's texted him back saying, you nicked it off me anyway. The story back in the Daily Mirror says, I was nervous for weeks after I took it back. I didn't sleep properly for days. I feel so angry and so helpless, and I feel that I'm not safe. Sharon's bike was stolen from Kingston High Street, which is not a horrible area really, on July the 20th, and she immediately reported the theft to the police. She found it for sale on Gumtree 5 days later, got back in touch and told her to contact him posing as a buyer. So that's it, you know. I mean, but at least I'm glad she got the bike back there, aren't you? Even if she had to pretend to be a buyer. Well done to her. Morning, Row. Morning, Roy. You're a bit late. I'm about to finish, mate. I'm about to finish. Yes. Good. There we are. Okay, we'll do today's birthdays, boys and girls. Happy birthday this morning to Markos, who was with us at the beginning of the show. Whether or not he's there now, I don't know. I wonder if he survived the whole hour. 33 years old today. Good morning, Markos, and a big happy birthday to you, sir. Happy birthday to Alexandru, Leskayan. I hope I've got that right. Happy birthday to Alexandru. Josh Wheeler is a young 30 years old today. Happy birthday, Josh. Graham Brown is not 50. I'm 18 years with 32 years experience. He's put a little post up there, so happy birthday, Graham. And Amber Hamid, it's his birthday as well on this Sunday, the 7th of October. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. I think my singing has improved today. I was very, very vocal in church this morning. Very vocal. You know, I'm off to Gatwick. I'm off to a holiday in a week's time, just over a week's time now. You know, I still haven't got my money yet. I've got to go and get my dollars. We need dollar. Give me dollar. We need dollar. We need dollars. So I must go and get my dollars at some point. Perhaps order them from. I'll do one of those comparison searches or something like that. Good. That's it today for the show. Thanks very much for joining us, boys and girls. Tomorrow night, if you're coming along to the karaoke tomorrow night at Central Station, as opposed to somewhere. There we are. That's tomorrow's karaoke. Just to let you know, we've got very cheap drinks tomorrow, and the reason is not because they love you. We've changed breweries. So they've got a lot of old stock to get rid of. Not out of date, just stock because we're going from one brewery to another. So Extra cheap drinks tomorrow night at Central Station Bar in Wharfdale Road. That's Monday the 8th of October. 7:30 till 11 o'clock. Okay. Very cheap drinks. An example, pint of Foster's, £2. A bottle of Smirnoff Ice will cost you £1.50 in the pub tomorrow. Okay, very, very cheap drinks in there tomorrow, so come along from 7:30 p.m. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, boys and girls. Don't forget Doctor Who tonight on BBC One in full colour. I can't wait. I'm going to have my dinner now. Thanks for watching and listening. See you tomorrow morning, around about 9 o'clock. Bye-bye now.